May I come in?
Come in.
Good morning, sirs.
Good morning. Please, sir.
Thank you.
You are from Ranchi.
Yes.
You stay in Kanke Road.
Yes.
And your father is a practicing psychologist.
Yes, sir.
Where?
Sir, he is currently in the Central Institute of Psychiatry at Kanke, Ranchi.
Mm-hmm. And mother?
My mother is a scientist and she is currently in the Krishi Vigyan Kendra and at the Birsa Agriculture University.
Birsa.
Yes, in the Extension Department.
Again in Ranchi.
Yes.
All right. What all you know about this Institute of Psychiatry where your father is working?
Sir, I know that it was established in 1918 and it was earlier known as the Anglo-Indian Mental Health Institute. And earlier only Europeans or people who were from the princely states, they could only seek mental health support from there. And even Indians who were from princely states had to get a letter from the Governor General in order to get treated over there. And it is one of the premier institutes and one of the best mental health institutions in the country.
Sure. All right. Now, talking about mental health, your father is working there on mental health. What are the reasons for growing mental health issue among Indians today? What are the contributory factors?
So first is the stressful life that most of the young people lead these days. Long working hours, less work-life balance. Then there is so mental health also comes from physical health. So there is like they don't do enough physical activity or they don't take proper nutrition, because of which also it causes stress and all the problems. And thirdly, sir, because most of the young people now live away from their families in metropolitan cities, therefore they lack some sort of support system that they would have otherwise.
How the mobile addiction is affecting the mental health of the young?
So mobile addiction is also affecting. It has decreased the attention span of the young people. For example, there was a survey by Microsoft which said that now after social media, human beings have even less attention span than a goldfish. So that is one problem that there is. Secondly, sir, because of social media and the system of watching reels and all, people now seek a very quick dopamine hit, and because of which they don't like to. They are losing their patience. They are losing stability in their lives. I think this is one of the issues.
So how mental health patients are being treated at that psychiatry institute in Ranchi? What is the real solution?
Sir, I think there is a holistic approach that is taken for them. So depending on their situation, whether they have to be institutionalized or if their problem is not that much, then there are even cottages where they can stay with their families so that they have support. Then there are teams of psychiatrists, psychologists, then general physicians, and so that their holistic health is taken care of.
All right, fine. Now you have a law background.
Yes, sir.
So you have just completed LLB or you are a practicing lawyer also?
No, sir, I have just completed LLB in 2022.
2022?
Yes.
And since then only preparation for civil services. All right. Now let me ask you, distinguish between the term rule of law and rule by law.
So rule of law means equality before law. All are equal in the eyes of the law, and no exceptions in the ordinary system of judiciary. Whereas rule by law means that the state or the government that is in power, the authority, passes legislation or laws or rules to further their own interests and not just to follow rule of law.
So you think India is being governed today under rule of law or rule by law?
Sir, I think India still is being governed under rule of law because any legislation is passed as per the constitution has provided. There can be greater consultation in legislative process. However, just because there has been a decline in consultation doesn't mean that there is a rule by law and rule of law is not there.
What is the meaning of the term in Article 21, procedure established by law, and how it's different from due process of law of USA?
Procedures established by law comes from the Japanese constitution, where it means that if a law is enacted according to the procedure established, then it does not matter even if it takes away certain fundamental rights. And this was also upheld in the A.K. Gopalan case and also in the ADM Jabalpur case. However, due process of law, as was given in India in the Menaka Gandhi case, taking from the US Supreme Court, says that the judiciary can also look at whether the law is fair and whether it is not infringing on the actual enactment is not infringing on fundamental rights.
What is the principle of natural rights?
Principle natural rights.
Yeah.
Principle of sir, do you mean principle of natural rights or natural justice?
I'm talking about natural rights.
Natural
What
rights.
are the natural rights?
So natural rights, as far as I know, I may be wrong, but as far as I know, they are the first generation human rights, and they are the rights that a person has by virtue of being a human being, like basic liberties such as freedom of speech, right to property, and etc.
And what are the second generation human rights then?
Second generation human rights are, sir, right to equality, right to profession, occupation, trade, and business. All of these are second generation.
And third generation?
Third generation is third generation human rights are, sir, gender rights. Gender rights are one example of third generation human rights.
All right, fine. Dev Prasad.
Good to see you. And my suggestion before going forward is take your advocate's license before you join the government. You can keep it pending till you retire. Are you following the case which is in progress before Constitution Bench on royalties, minerals and royalties issue?
Sir, I'm sorry, sir, I have not followed this case.
Okay, you might have a chance to see One Nation, One Election report, or at least summary of that. What do you think will happen for budgetary process if there is one election, one nation, one election? Because there is a concept of cut motion that can bring down government. So what will happen to cut motion if there is one nation, one election?
Sir, I think the panel that has given, the high level committee has given the recommendation that even if following the Westminster model, even if the government falls because it does not have the support of the House, then the next government can only be there for the duration which is remaining of the 5 years.
But what happens if that government falls through cut motion?
So then I think then another government can come.
What happens after that? Suppose in the year 1, there is a cut motion, government falls. In year 2, there is political defection, government falls. You elect another government. So even cut motion in the other government also. What happens?
So I need to read up and.
So what kind of safeguards can be there?
Sir, one safeguard can be a positive vote of confidence, a vote of no confidence, such as there is there in Germany, where a vote of no confidence can, like what we are discussing, cut motion. So in a cut motion also, sir, this is
See, the foundation for democracy, House of Commons or Lok Sabha, is no taxation without representation. Budget is passed including taxation, essentially for taxation, and then expenditure. If that concept is diluted through any process, do you think that will be real democracy as visualized?
Sir, no, sir. I don't think it will be in the spirit of the constitution makers.
So Magna Carta will be challenged through this.
No, I don't think so. I am not sure, sir. I have to.
Do you know about money bill? Okay. Do you know about money bill?
Yes.
What is it?
Sir, a money bill is a bill on which a money bill is a bill on which only the Lok Sabha can vote, and then even if the Rajya Sabha then rejects or makes some recommendations, then the Lok Sabha can not take them into account and get it.
Can you recall 2-3 acts which were passed as money bills, though not necessarily having money content in it?
Sir, Aadhaar was passed as money bill, and in his dissenting opinion, Justice Chandrachud also said that he felt that this was not.
What is the argument given by government for Aadhaar to be a money bill?
Sir, the argument given by government, sir, I don't remember what
The argument given by government is that since it is drawing funds from Consolidated Fund of India, every beneficiary, it is meant for people identifying beneficiaries who will be drawing funds from Consolidated Fund of India, which is money bill. That is the argument. Therefore, Aadhaar originally perceived and thereafter diluted. Okay. If you are a district collector, what is the extensively used mineral that a district magistrate has control over?
I'm sorry, I could not.
There are various minerals for which local auctioning, tender, licensing takes place. Which is that mineral in any district throughout India, not just in any one district, on which the district collector will have direct control?
Is it sand?
That is also being discussed in by constitution bench. Thank you. We'll come back again. Rishabh, what is the meaning of your name?
Sir, my name Rishabh. It means, depending on tradition, according to the Adi Puran, it was the name of the first Tirthankar of the Jain tradition. According to Ling Puran, it was one of the 28 avatars of Shiva. And according to Vishnu Puran, it is one of the 24 avatars of Lord Vishnu. Further, according to the Panchang calendar of India, it is a month in the Panchang analogous to the Taurus of the Greek horoscope.
There is any link with any musical note?
Yes, sir. Sir, the note Re in the Sargam is short for Rishabh.
Now you have interest in music, I saw it. Now can you narrate all the 7 notes in Hindi? I mean Indian name.
I don't know.
Rishabh you said is Re, correct. Now others?
Sir, I don't know.
You don't know. Now I find that you have a very wide area of interest and learning and training also. Now but what is your focus?
Sir, that depends on at what stage of my life I was in. Currently my focus right now is studying law and policy and society issues, and also when it comes to extracurricular interests, I'm more interested into football these days.
Now you want to become a professional footballer?
No, sir. Unfortunately, I don't have the skills or to become a professional footballer.
But it is still the focus of your life?
No, sir. Watching and enjoying football.
Okay. Now, as a law student, now what are the fundamentals of Roman law?
So, fundamentals of. So, one fundamental that I can recall right now was that the right to property should be given to a person who utilizes that property, and not to the person who just keeps it fallow and just leaves it neglected.
What about succession?
Succession, sir, I don't remember what.
You know a word called patria potestas? No. Okay. Now, culpable homicide amounting to murder and culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Can you analyze this concept and give examples of both?
Sir, culpable homicide amounting to murder is when there is, sir, I don't recall the exact differences at this moment.
No, but what is section 302? Is it?
302 is, sir, the punishing section for.
And what is the substantive section?
It is 299 is for culpable homicide not amounting to murder, whereas 300 is for culpable homicide amounting.
Then what is the main thing there? What is the provision?
Sir, I don't recall.
Now, can you punish intention stage in any crime? What are the 4 stages of a crime?
Sir, intention, preparation, attempt, and then execution. Or,
So which is punishable?
sir, from the attempt stage, it is punishable.
From attempt stage
Attempt.
punishable. Now there are one or two examples where attempt of course is punishable, but where the crime, if it is completed, then it cannot be punished. What is that?
Could you repeat that question?
There are one or two examples where the attempt stage is punishable, but the completed crime is not punishable
Uh,
or cannot be punished.
So before the latest amendment, suicide was one such crime where attempt to suicide was punishable, but because if suicide is completed, then you cannot punish the person. And so this is the one.
Okay. Now physics was also your subject, isn't it? Physics.
In class 12.
I know. A very simple thing. Tell me the second law of thermodynamics. You know that?
Second law of thermodynamics.
Okay. Second law of Newton.
Second law of Newton is that force is equals mass times acceleration.
For a civil servant, is it better to be master in a particular line, like specialist engineers, doctors, or anything, or having small knowledge of a large number of subjects? Which is better?
Sir, I think there is a middle path here that depends on the service that is there.
I'm talking about civil service.
So, sir, in the civil service also there are different services. So,
IAS, take it IAS.
Sir, for an IAS, I think that because it is a leadership position in the government and it involves responsibilities of coordinating with the other members of the team. Therefore, and also taking a wider policy view, I think that having an understanding of the more number of things is beneficial there.
Another question relating to your hobbies. You have hobbies both poetry as well as plays, you said, isn't it? Now, both these are dependent on emotions, and you have some interest in emotional studies also. Now, what are the different emotions according to the Indian system?
So there was
In poetry also, in theatrics also, Natya Shastra.
I don't remember.
No, but you know this rasa. What is the rasa?
The Navrasas.
What are these navrasas?
Sir, I don't know the
Name any one or two, whichever you remember.
Sir, Veer Ras is one.
Hmm.
Then Veer Ras, Shringar Ras is one.
Which is the book which mentions all these things? Indian classical book. Well-known book.
Sir, is it Natya Shastra?
No, don't ask me questions. You
Sir,
tell me.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah. Okay. Take.
So Rishabh, you have been very active and all around during the student days.
Thank you, sir.
You were the school head, captain of football team. So football, by football you mean soccer?
Yes.
Okay. So whom do you consider the greatest footballer of all time?
Sir, I think Lionel Messi is the greatest footballer that I have been lucky enough to see.
But all time, if you talk about all time greats, then
Sir, I have only seen the great goals of Pele and Maradona. I have not seen them play, so I don't know.
okay. So you think Messi is the
Yes.
okay. Yeah, what do you think about this club football? Is it damaging or the national spirit, the FIFA international football, or is it good for overall development of soccer?
Sir, I think a robust club structure is essential for any success, even in international football, because clubs provide an avenue for footballers or athletes to professionally ply their trade, and because international events are amateur events, and in international competitions they are held once in a blue moon or once in 4 years, 2 years. But being in a club system, it ensures that players are match sharp. They keep playing regularly.
So, when Olympic movement started, it was envisaged that sports would be an amateur profession, amateur thing. Professionals could not play. Even people were stripped of their medals when it was on that they had taken some money. Now we have
undergone a sea change. So how do you view it? Is it for good or bad, or like neutral? Neutral on it?
Sir, I think it is for the good, because earlier children did not, like, if it is kept as amateur, then there are very few opportunities there for young people to take up sports. However, if there is professionalization, then more people can aspire towards being sports persons. More people can have that as an occupation.
Okay, so now coming back to your choice of services, why have you opted for Indian Administrative Service as the first choice?
Sir, I think that as an Indian Administrative Services officer, I would be able to provide both preventive and curative relief to the people, may not be possible as a lawyer, and which is why it is my first preference. Secondly, I have some experience in ADR in university, which I think can also enable me to perform my duties in a better way. And thirdly, sir, I think having such a position of responsibility and leadership will make my spiritual growth faster.
Okay. See, as a lawyer, don't you think that your law background would have helped you more in Indian Police Service than in Indian Administrative Service?
Sir, the Indian Administrative Services are also related to the application of law, because it also involves policy implementation and then later on making policy in one's later career. And a background in the law can help me implement policy better, and also later on make better policy, because I have that perspective from my training.
So what are your views on bail as a right? What is the difference between a bailable and non-bailable offence? And what are your views on bail as a right, or sometimes people feel that bail is being used by judiciary just because they feel that final conviction won't take place. So let the person languish in jail during the trial.
So the bailable offence means in which it is. So I don't remember the exact difference between bailable and non-bailable as per the CRPC. I don't.
So if a non-bailable means he has to be in jail.
Yes.
I think to look up. Bailable,
no.
it is a right of the person. If bailable offence, he has to get bail. Non-bailable, what?
I will read up on this.
What is Magna Carta?
Magna Carta is Magna Carta is the major document or the basic document which changes something. For example, in 1600, when the Queen Elizabeth gave the charter, then it was a Magna Carta, because it's
all mixed up. What you are saying?
Sir,
King John.
John II. John II.
It was 1200. Sir.
1215.
The Glorious Revolution.
No, that was different.
I am then sorry, sir. I don't know.
Okay, now you are from sociology. So why census is not taking place?
So census, first due to COVID, it could not take place, and after that, the government wants to conduct a census, and I think, sir, in the next couple of years, it is going to be conducted.
What are your views on this caste census?
Caste survey.
Caste survey.
Sir,
Caste-based census.
So I think because we, from Indira Sawhney and also from the recent Jarnail Singh judgments, there needs to be quantifiability of backwardness in order to give in order to give benefits of affirmative action. However, it is a fact that some groups and some communities have cornered most of the benefits, and for better targeting of the policy, we need accurate data, and we cannot depend on data that is 70-80 years old on caste. So we need better data in order to have better implementation of the reservation policy. However, the political class also has to be mature enough to ensure that it does not exacerbate political caste hostilities, and also it is not used as a means for electoral politics.
All right. You have done something regarding alternative dispute resolution in a society. You were
Yes.
convener of that. What are the mechanisms available in India for ADR?
Sir, according to the Arbitration and Conciliation Act of 1996, there is the systems of arbitration, conciliation is there, then mediation is there, and judicial settlements is there. And according to the National Legal Services Authority Act, now due to court decisions, even the Lok Adalats have become a platform for ADR, alternative dispute resolutions. And finally, negotiation, because it is by its very nature between parties. So it is already always
What are the main features of the mediation bill?
of the mediation bill. So the mediation bill seeks to establish. I have not read the exact provisions.
Don't say if you have not
Yes.
read. Okay. All right. Your another hobby is to raise awareness about local heritage. Local heritage where? In Ranchi and around?
Yes, in Ranchi.
What is the local heritage of Ranchi?
Sir, in Ranchi there is a Jagannath temple that is there, that was built in the 17th century by the local rulers there. Then there is a temple of Lord Shiva, in which there is a particular sect which they even pray to Ravana there. So that is very interesting. And finally, sir, the birthplace of Bhagwan Birsa Munda is also near Ranchi.
Where?
Sir, it is in Khuti, just near Ranchi.
So how do you raise the awareness regarding this Jagannath temple?
Sir, there was a collaborative project between History TV18 and the Delhi Public School Society, under which we had to take up the monument, we had to make a documentary upon it, a documentary film, and then we had to present a plan to the local administration of how to develop it as a religious and cultural tourist hotspot. So about how we could have like walkways there, how we could have a system of registration of tourist guides over there. We could have an area where there would be shops and parking spaces. So we had made up a project on that and submitted.
That's fine. Now, what do you mean by human emotions? You write poetry on that, but what are human emotions? Name some of them.
Sir, human emotions are the feelings that we have when we respond to a stimulus. We take a stimulus, we internalize it in how we respond to it. So, for example, love is an emotion, anger is an emotion, sadness is an emotion, hatred is an emotion.
These are strong emotions, no point. No doubt about that. Now, can you recite a poetry on any human emotion that you have written?
Yes, sir. I had written one on the definition of love. So,
Hindi or English?
Sir, English.
English?
Yes.
Achha, your poetry is in English only.
No, sir, I also write in Hindi.
But tell the English one on
Yes.
love.
Love is in the mother's warmth. Love is in the soldier's sacrifice. Love is in the teacher's care. Love is the supreme edifice. Love is what the sages say, the shortest path to him. So open your hearts and let your souls be filled with love to the brim.
Okay, that's what you have written. Now, coming to your choices, IFS is a second choice, which means you value it just next to IAS. So that makes me ask you questions on international affairs. What's going on between India and Bhutan now?
India and Bhutan, sir, there is a greater there is
What's happening as of now today?
that I don't know.
You don't read newspapers. Our PM is there in Bhutan.
I have not read today's
You have not read about it. You should take some keen interest in that. All right. Have you heard about a government move recently to put a fact check unit under PIB? What do you know about it? And do you endorse it?
So there was a fact check unit established by the Ministry of Information and Electronics, Ministry of Information Technology and Electronics, and there has been a stay upon it by the Supreme Court because it said that it involves deliberations on Article 19 of the Constitution, right to information. And
what is the purpose of FCT, fact check unit?
So the purpose, because of the rise of social media and artificial technology, there is a lot of misinformation, disinformation, hate speech. So the intention is to establish a unit which can, because there is a lot of rumors going on about government on social media. So there can be a fact-checking unit which can analyze all the news that is going on and then say whether it is true or false.
Do you support it? Can the government be given such powers to unload anything on the social media which is against it?
No, sir, I do not think so, because I think that right to free speech and right to information can be impacted by this, and it can also be used by the government to shut down criticism of it, and which will.
So it should not be there. It should be struck down. That's what you imply?
Sir, there should be a fact check unit, definitely, because of the extent of misinformation that is there in society. However, there should also be safeguards, institutional safeguards, so that there is no, it is not used to propagate a particular ideology.
Thank you. All
Yes,
right, your
thank
interview
you.
is over now. You want to ask something? Please.
You studied law. In the context of fact check, how do you think if such a unit is established independently as a collaboration between all state government and central government? Now it's only by central government. Suppose a state government challenges central government policy, that also will be coming under fact check. Instead of, don't you think if such a fact check unit is collectively established through independent financing mechanism and professionals, how it will be?
So I think that will be a great solution, and that will also be in line with the federal principles of our state.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want specifically how it could be established?
Sir, why you are asking counter questions like this?
Sir, I
you
just
ask me.
clarify.
Anyways.
Sir, we could have a constitutional body where the conditions and tenure of service could not be affected adversely after coming into a position, and we could also have an institutional grievance redressal mechanism for where there is dispute between the states and the centers, so that there can be we can have an arbitration. No, arbitration is not needed. We can have a grievance redressal system where
Grievances by whom against whom?
Sir, by the central government against the state government, or state government against the central government.
Okay.
And sir, I think that their decisions should also, like they should be given enough power so that their decisions that are given by the fact check unit actually carry some weight and it does not
So,
become.
you say it can be done through constitutional amendment. That's what you say. And second, their role and powers have to be clearly defined.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you can go now. We'll call you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
भाई ये कोर्ट बंद करना खोलना बंद कर दो.
Yes.
This is not at all liked in UPSC, real UPSC. ये जो कर रहे हो ना, ये सब कोचिंग वाले सिखाते हैं, इसकी जरूरत वहाँ पे नहीं पड़ती है. They will not like it. Either go with a buttoned coat or go with unbuttoned coat.
मैं तो फिल्म शो से देख के कर
हाँ?
मैं तो फिल्म्स में देखा था कैसे कर
नहीं वो सब गोली मारो कहाँ
ठीक
देखा
है।
उसको आप-
फिल्म्स में
यस
कौन सी फिल्म?
सर जैसे फिल्म्स में जो सूट पहन के जैसे आप
अरे छोड़ो यार फिल्म जो मैं बता रहा हूँ
यस
सब।
मैं समझ गया
दूसरी बात है तुम बीच में नर्वस क्यों होते पूरा स्वेटिंग आ रहा था तुम्हारे
गर्मी
चेहरे
गर्मी के चलते
गर्मी के चलते आ रहा था यू वर नॉट फीलिंग नर्वस बट इस तरह से वहाँ नहीं होना चाहिए कि स्वेटिंग शुड बी देयर ऑन योर इट वाज विजिबल इट वाज नॉट लुकिंग नाइस तीसरी बात यह है कि तुम इतना सर क्यों हिलाते हो बार बार आंसर दे रहे हो तो लेफ्ट टू राइट राइट टू लेफ्ट जैसे लगता है कोई किसी टॉय में डाल दिया गया मूविंग टॉय में कर रहा है व्हाई यू मूव द हेड फ्रॉम दिस टू दिस एंड व्हाई नहीं जब आंसर तुम देते हो हम लोगों को तो हमेशा लगातार तुम यहाँ से वहाँ से यहाँ देख रहे हो इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड
और सबकॉन्शियसली पता नहीं
मैं उसको ठीक करना
उसको ठीक
पड़ेगा।
करूंगा सर
मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा मुझे देखते रहो एक आध बार कभी मन कर गया तो देख सकते हो किसी मेंबर को उससे ज्यादा ही नहीं कि अब लगातार आप ऐसे करके आंसर दे रहे हो दिस इज नॉट एट ऑल गुड मूव कर रहे हो आप हैंड मूवमेंट भी आपका ज्यादा आप जब एक्सप्लेन करते हो तो हमेशा राइट हैंड आपका चलते रहता है उसको आप बंद करके रखो ज्यादा अच्छा है यू आर नॉट इन अ ओपन डिबेट सोसाइटी वेयर यू कैन स्पीक यू आर इन अ फॉर्मल सिस्टम ऑफ यूपीएससी इंटरव्यू तो अगर हाथ अपने आप चलता है आपका मान लो स्पॉन्टेनियसली चलता है तो जैसे अभी बंद करके रखो वैसे बंद करके रखो ये में नहीं खोलना है मुंह से बात करो देयर इज नो नीड टू से लाइक दिस इज हैपनिंग दैट इज हैपनिंग हेड मूवमेंट मत करो फोर्थ थिंग इज दैट जब आंसर को ऐसे ही बोल मैग्ना कार्टा यू आर टोटली ऑन ए वेरी आई वाज ऑन एंग्री पाथ यू आर सेइंग एवरीथिंग रॉन्ग अबाउट मैग्ना कार्टा क्यों ऐसे बोलते हो अपने को सोचो कि व्हेन यू नो अबाउट मैग्ना कार्टा हु इशूड इट व्हाट वाज द पर्पस ऑफ मैग्ना कार्टा व्हिच ईयर वाज इशूड तब बोलो अदरवाइज सीधे बोलो कि आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल मैग्ना कार्टा इट वाज एन इंपॉर्टेंट माइलस्टोन इन फंडामेंटल राइट्स certain rights were issued but I don't recall the date and times that will be a better answer
यस
rather than fourth thing हमेशा तुम मेंबर को काउंटर क्वेश्चन करते हो डू यू वांट टू आस्क दिस डू यू वांट टू आस्क दिस
तो क्लैरिफिकेशन
नहीं
समझ
तो दिस इज नॉट द डू यू करके मत बोलो इट इज कन्फ्रंटेशनल आपको क्लैरिफिकेशन नहीं करना है तो सर कि humbly I'll request you to repeat this question so that I can understand it better put it this way
यस
do you want me to ask it we are not your friends कि do you want to ask me ऐसे आप क्वेश्चन आप बोल ही नहीं सकते हो किसी को do you want to know this do you want to ask me this don't say this yes sir I humbly request to hear this question once again like this you say ऐसे करके बोलो बाकी लोग क्या बोलेंगे
देखिए
याद आ रहा है जो मैंने बताया फीडबैक वेरी
जी
इंपॉर्टेंट
सर,
फीडबैक
जी
वो
सर।
लिख लेना बाहर जाके
यस
देखिए you know this whole thing is about assessing the personality. Knowledge also has been tested already. So every personality, every person projects a personality trait. Now at least I got the impression from your personality कि you always try to over project yourself in certain respects. कि आपको उतना मालूम नहीं है बट आप उसको ये प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं that you know it or if not then you put the other person on confrontationalist position as you said. अच्छा दूसरी बात ये है कि जिन चीज़ों को आपने यू हैव रिटन एज हॉबीज और एज मेन सब्जेक्ट्स सम मोर डिटेल्स आर नीडेड. For example, the moment you talk about poetry and this thing, and so in that case, something about emotions and all that. Now, emotion is a very general thing, but once you are technically interested in it, you have to go a little more into the technical side. Similarly, आप physics के बारे में नहीं बता सके, fundamentals, law के बारे में homicide नहीं मालूम आपको. Now, this is inexcusable that a law person doesn't know about culpable homicide. So, read up a little more on these main subjects and main hobbies. Information based. कब है मैंने ये इंटरव्यू?
4th April
4th April.
Okay.
हाँ.
And we try to account yourself with the current constitutional bench proceedings,
yes
particularly on taxation and also electoral bonds that may come because that went as a money bill.
yes
So, and get deeper into money bill, and already a case is pending on money bill itself.
I will read up on it.
No, your answer was not very forthright on money bill. As a UPSC
Yes.
student, you should say that money bill means the Article 110, the
Yes.
5-6 conditions, उसको mention नहीं कर पाए, जानते तो होगे तुम. You should have started like that.
yes sir.
तुमने प्रोसीजर बोल दिया कि
हाँ.
उसको लोकसभा पास हमने कहाँ पूछ रहे कि क्या प्रोसीजर
That
है
is not-
हमने पूछा मनी बिल क्या है तुम आंसर दे रहे हो प्रोसीजर क्या है. It was not a very happy situation. Question was what is a money bill, not the procedure how it is passed in parliament. You said the second thing. इस तरह की गलतियां मत करो.
एक चीज हो रहा है several times you get stuck in the middle. You start off a question and then you start thinking or rethinking or saying I do not know. Not like that. It should be clear whether you know it or you don't know it.
ठीक है, ये सब रिफाइन कर लो।
हाँ।
तुम्हारे जो क्वेश्चन ज्यादा आएंगे जो मैंने रेज किए हैं, और कुछ भी पूछ सकता है, बट ये तुम्हारा जो आर्बिट्रेशन वाला एक है वो उस पर नजर जाएगी, जैसे मेरी गई। ह्यूमन इमोशंस पे पूछेंगे, पक्का का पक्का पूछेंगे। ह्यूमन इमोशंस तुमने ठीक बोला, इमोशन के बारे में थोड़ा और उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग करो, इमोशन के बारे में, इमोशन क्या होता है, कैसे आजकल। और जो तुम्हारे फादर का बैकग्राउंड है मेंटल वाला, वहाँ पे साइकोलॉजिस्ट वाला, तो देयर लॉट्स ऑफ क्वेश्चन विल बी आस्क्ड ऑन मेंटल हेल्थ इशू इन इंडिया टुडे। रीड द बिल। तुमने बोला मेंटल हेल्थ बिल का, मुझे नहीं पता क्या हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, जो भी सरकार ने बनाया पास किया है, इट्स एन ओल्ड बिल नाउ, हाउ वी आर एड्रेसिंग मेंटल हेल्थ एंड हाउ वी मैप डाउन द मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज ऑफ इंडिया टुडे, यूथ व्हिच इज लीडिंग टू सुसाइड्स, लीडिंग टू डिप्रेशन, लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग इन सोसाइटी बिकॉज मेंटल हेल्थ। उसको अच्छे से पढ़ो बिकॉज यू हैव पेरेंटल बैकग्राउंड इन दैट। और लोकल हेरिटेज में तो पूछ ही दिया हमने, बिकॉज यू हैव अ लॉन्ग लिस्ट ऑफ
ऑप्शनल है, वो भी थोड़ा
सोशियोलॉजी में पूछ सकता है, लेकिन वो तो अंडरस्टूड है। लेकिन जो हम हाईलाइट कर रहे हैं उसमें तैयार होना बहुत जरूरी है, उन सब चीज़ों को पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है। अब तुम फॉरेन अफेयर में सेकंड चॉइस है तुम्हारा भूटान के बारे में तुम नहीं जान रहे हो, बिकॉज आवर पीएम विजिटेड यस्टरडे ओनली एंड लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग्स आर गोइंग ऑन भूटान। यू शुड नो व्हाट इज आवर रिलेशनशिप, चाइना क्यों आ रहा है वहाँ पे, हम क्या कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे, डोकलाम इशू क्या है। तो मान लो 4 अप्रैल को इंटरव्यूज के पहले कुछ ऐसा कुछ हो जाए फॉरेन
जी
तो पूछ देंगे ना वो, तो यू कैन नॉट मिस आउट ऑन दैट। यही है।
ठीक है।
सर कुछ सर ये तो क्रिटिकल फीडबैक तो हो गया सर, कुछ पॉजिटिव चीजें जो आपको लगी जो कि मैं
हाँ, पॉजिटिव चीज है कि पर्सनालिटी ठीक है तुम्हारा, यू आर अ कॉन्फिडेंट पर्सन, communication skills are okay, that is all fine. If you just take our feedback on improvement, it will be a good delivery in the interview.
so minor tweaks are needed.
Minor. You don't have a structural problem at all. You don't have a structural. You are a raw material. Refinement is required.
सर आप जितना भी डाल रहे थे मुझे कि बहुत अभी
No. The idea is to make you refine.
I understand sir.
You are a good material. You are a good material. Absolutely. Take it as a positive.
There is
Yes.
product polishing and packing.
Yes.
That's all.
We are giving you the nuts and bolts.
Yes.
to correct yourself.
I understand.
इस सबको तुम कर लोगे, फॉलो कर लोगे तो अच्छा करोगे।
जी।
Be conscious how what to speak, what not to speak before the board. जब 6-7 बातें नहीं कि बाहर जाके लिख लो उसको।
जी।
सर ने ये सब फीडबैक दिया था, उसको वर्क करो, then you can present a good personality. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day sir.